Hello, World Tank Blitzers. It's a Littlefinger. Happy Friday, September 3rd. And yes, time for another store review. And you might be saying, hey, Littlefinger, what happened to your garage? Well, I'm coming to you from an EU account that I created. And the reason is there's really nothing new in the stores. But there is a big change coming with 8.3 affecting the store that I wanted to discuss. First, there was some news from Blitz Post recently that Wargaming was giving out a gift for inactive accounts, the accounts that were inactive between a month and 2 months. And that gift included 30 days of premium time, 10 3x boosters, 10 boosters of all kinds, and three camouflage containers. And I actually received that on one of my accounts. But on this account, I hadn't played since April, and I have not received that. So I'm assuming that it is accurate that you have to be inactive for a month or two for that to be in effect. And I also received some really nice pop-up offers, over 2,000 gold for $1. That's obviously a great deal. We talk about it here. Gold's been on sale for 2 times normal 350, so 700 gold per dollar right now is a good deal. Anything over that, you should probably go ahead and jump on. So yeah, I did take advantage of that 2,000, but you can see on this account, I've got a couple pop-up offers, not the greatest offers. This one's 2,000 gold for $5. Obviously, that's 400 gold per dollar. You can get gold better just buying it in the store. Yeah, it does come with a few boosters, 200,000 of credits, and 14 days premium time, but I don't think this is a great deal, and I wouldn't buy that one. This one here for $1 gets you 25,000 free XP, 40,000 credits, and 3 days of premium. Again, for this account that I don't play often, I do have some certificates for premium time. I'll just go ahead and use those. I can earn the 25,000 in that without spending $1 on it. And as you can see in this account, this is my only premium tank. Yeah, the 59 patent, I think I must have won it in a crate or something. I only have 300 battles over here, so not a very well-used account. One other thing, we've got the battle pass going on. Hopefully you watched my Dreadnought video. It's kind of a fun tank. I was kind of iffy on it at first, but it's grown on me after about 30 battles. The armor is very troll on it from the front. And as I said in the review, it's got really good traverse speed, which does help it. Yeah, it's a little bit slower than the Churchill gun carrier, and the dispersion's a little bit worse. But one of the things I noticed, because I faced it in battle, here at level 70, and I'm surprised someone, golded all the way up to level 70. But here is the Lancelot camo. And I think this makes this tank even that much better. This is pretty cool. Bomb shelter on top, and a mine detector, whatever, at the front here. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. So again, for $5, you're getting over 3,000 gold, 2 tanks. So yeah, the battle pass is a good deal, provided you're coming in here and finishing all of your missions on a daily basis. All right, so let's jump into the store now. And the disappointment here is that not much has changed. We'll go into the one change that I noticed in a second, but for the battle pass, $20 to get you, I think this is 25, yeah, 25 levels. So you're spending a little bit more than I think. $5 is a great deal, provided again that you're completing those missions, and you can get 4 missions done per day. There's 80 levels, so 20 days roughly here or there, you should be able to complete the battle pass. So here, the German invasion is what's new in store. So here are your potential tanks. You've got, some really nice tanks. The Scorpion, I like the German Bulldog. The VK9001P obviously is the big draw here. Some of the tanks, Panther 88 are okay. Panzer 58, okay. And they just had the event here for the VK. So The positive here is it's a 10% drop chance. And if you spend 15,000 gold, that's a lot of gold, guys. You're going to get 14 of these crates, which means you have about a 77% chance of getting one tank out of those 10 crates. You've got, what is it, 41% chance of getting two. And those super lucky people might get 3 tanks. That's about 15% of you. But keep in mind, 1 out of every 4 won't get a tank. And so the reason I wanted to do the store from this account is because in update 8.3, the regular premium tanks are going away, except for 3. We'll get to that here in a second. But you can buy yourself and guarantee that you get 2 tier 8 premium tanks for 15,000 gold in the current store as it stands now. So that's my recommendation, guys, not to be gambling on these crates. 15,000 gold, you're going to be pissed off if you don't get a tank out of that deal. So we've got the reliable PZ38H here for $2 again, 7 days premium time, and the camo, the garage slot. We've seen this low tier tanks you can sell for gold once you're bored of playing with it. Double impact. This is one of the better deals that we've seen in the store for a while. Still got 6 days left on it. The 112 is a great tank. A little bit faster than the Glacial, but other than that, very similar characteristics. The T-30-43, as I mentioned, has the same gun as the Tech Tree tank. So, if you don't want to spend the money for a premium tank, you can get a very similar playstyle tank that doesn't have the credit coefficient of this. But I do like the sense here that you've got a medium tank with a big gun, completely different playstyle than most other mediums, and you've got one of the better tier 8 heavy tanks here. So you can still get that for 10,500 gold for 6 more days. And here is that 2 days left on definitely a toned down version of the 112 here. But that's only 7,500 gold. So that's why the price is less. Interesting to note here as we move on into the resources section. On my NA account, this Untold Riches is $100, 99.99. Not sure why it's $10 cheaper. This one's $50 for strategic power. I don't know why it's cheaper here on the EU server. If anyone has any idea why that might be, hey, let me know. But you're going to get 90 days of premium, 37,000 gold, 10 of these collect them all containers, which basically has every single premium tank and collector tank in the game, and it's a 5% drop chance. So you've got about a 40%-ish chance of getting a tank out of that, and then an additional 500 gold boosters, which, as you know, could be anywhere between 500 and 10,000 gold, depending upon what level you play and how much you win. Still, as far as a gold value on this, gold is still for sale for 2 times. So my recommendation, buy yourself double the amount of gold than you normally could get in the store and use it to buy a tank and guarantee yourself a premium tank. So we'll just skip the rest. I'm not going to talk about paying gold for boosters. That's just kind of silly, guys. So this is what I want to get to. We've kind of talked about these tanks. If I haven't talked enough about them in this week's store review, go back to the last 1 or 2 because these tanks have been here for 2 weeks now. But what I want to get to is in update 8.3, they are taking all of these tanks here that you see in the store out. And you don't see them in my regular Littlefinger account because I own them all, so they don't show up in here. Outside of the IS6, the T23, E3, and the Dicker Max, those are going to stay, but the rest of these are going to be gone. So, like I was saying, I would much rather if you want to spend 15,000 gold, get yourself the Jagdtiger 8.8 and the Lava here. two really great German tanks, different play styles, obviously, and you're guaranteed yourself of getting two tanks. So just wanted to go through real quick, talk about the play style. Obviously, you've got the IS-6 Soviet heavy tank. Does have some really nice angled armor here, so you're going to get a few bounces. The difficulty with this tank, I find, is the accuracy on the gun. It's going to just, who knows what it's going to do in all reality, but it is still a nice credit earning tank. It has been a little bit surpassed with the 252U and some of the newer premium tanks, in my opinion. T-34, you've got the American heavy. It's a little bit on the slow side. It does have a big gun. You want to play this thing hold down. Um, Maybe a little bit like the T-29 if you guys have that. But again, the gun on this control you a little bit just because it does not have that accuracy. Long reload penalizes you for missing the shot. Now, one of my recommendations would be the Yak Tiger 88 here. It sits right in that sweet spot for me of having good pen, um, quick reload. It doesn't do huge damage like a lot of TDs, but it's not like an E25 or something where you just have to stay on target shooting over and over again. And it's got good mobility and armor. I would highly recommend, if you're looking for a tank, to buy the Yak Tiger 88. Love it again here. It does have decent frontal armor. The side armor on this thing is trash. Good mobility, good gun, and a good all-around tank. Once you learn how to angle it properly, you basically just got this really small, slim little flat plate on the front lower glacis that is the weak spot on it. But again, the sides are, if you start turning that turret, that's weak as well. The French FCM 50 ton has good mobility for a tank this size. It's great for some of the specialty games where you can do some ramming, get some high speeds and whatnot, because it is a big tank. The armor on it's decent. The gun on it is really good. The French guns usually are pretty good. Just an average tank. I would definitely place it below these two, but ahead of the T-34 for my playstyle. I'm not a big, heavy, slow tank type of player. And again, the Super Pershing here, again, it's a medium tank, but it's just too slow for me to be a medium. I would call this more of a heavy type of tank. It's got great armor. It's great for new players that you just want to face forward and shoot, because you're going to get a lot of bounces. You've got this spaced armor here around the front, so side cheeks, and obviously the side of the tank are weak spots. It's got a decent gun, but again, it's going to be pretty slow. Now we start getting into the tier 7s, and this is a big drop down in my opinion. M6A2E1 here, again, pretty slow. Side cheeks are weak. Gun is not accurate. It's a below average premium tank. AT-15A can be fun in the right situations. Too slow for me to be effective on the battlefield, so you got to get lucky, be in the right spot. Then you can do a lot of damage. The armor is probably the best of all of the AT series tanks, which does add some value to it, but 5,000 gold. SG-122-44 is a fun tank. If you're looking for something a little bit cheaper, it's got a decent gun on it, but look at the sloped armor. You're going to bounce a lot of shots off of this, and it has good mobility. T-23E3, famous for its super fast reverse speed. I don't know it off the top of my head, but this tank can go almost as fast backwards as it can forwards. It's got a fast-firing gun, no armor really to speak of, but it is a good tank because of its mobility. The Panther M10 has more armor than the T-23E3, probably a better, more accurate gun, but it's just slower because it's got more armor. This one's a little bit more tricky to play because of its speed, in my opinion. Then we're moving down to tier 6, TOG 2. It's a bit of a gimmick tank. It comes with all of those hit points, and it is just a barn of a tank. But we all know and love the TOG 2. The SG-100Y, I just feel like you can get this out of free crates. This one tank's been given away quite a bit, but if I had to choose a tier 6 tank destroyer, and I only could keep one, this one might be my favorite, just because the premium round has less pen but does more damage. So it's kind of your one of your first intros to a derpy type gun. And I just really enjoy this tank, but the difficulty is keeping it hidden because it's huge. Um, Dicker Max, apparently it's going to stay in the store, so we don't have to worry about it disappearing. But it's got a lot of mobility. You think of some of the other tanks in this German style here, a little bit slower, the Stura Emil and whatnot. This tank actually gets around, and I like the mobility on it. It does have a little bit of troll armor, but not too much. But a super accurate gun, and a nice reload. So good DPM on this tank. Stepping down again to the T14 at tier 5. It's got some nice frontal armor if you know how to play it well. It's not a bad little tank. The Kampfpanzer 5.4. Again, some decent armor, nice gun. We're starting to get into these lower tiers where the playstyle kind of just diverges into just everything's the same. And I guess that's what Wargaming wanted. So not a lot of difference between some of these playstyles. Matilda 4 obviously is very slow. Not a tank that I would recommend purchasing. The Excelsior, I enjoy this tank. It's good fun. It's got troll armor. It's got a good gun. Churchill 3, yeah, it's okay. You're gonna get a lot of bounces here with people shooting into these big old tracks on the front here. So that does make it kind of interesting to play. I think it's a tank that I'm still looking for an Ace Mastery on, so I've been playing it a little bit lately. SU-85I, it's okay. I'd rather drop a little bit more gold and get the SU-122-44. It's a much better tank. Matilda Black Prince, not a big fan of this tank just because your biggest weak spot here is in the turret, and you can't hide the turret. So if you want to shoot anything, so tough little tank to play there. And the T25 is surprisingly not a bad little tank. It's got some decent armor, good German gun on it. It is a little bit on the slower side for a medium tank. So just to reiterate, guys, all but 3 of these tanks will be gone. You won't be able to purchase them any longer. And so my recommendation is, if you're looking for a tank to buy, pick a tank or two that fits your play style, and just guarantee yourself getting a tank, and don't gamble on these crates. So back to the store again. These gold prices here are double what they normally are. So my recommendation is, drop $45 here, get 35,000 gold, and buy yourself several of those premium tanks, and then hold on, or maybe just buy 2 and then hold on to the rest of the gold until you see another good offer come in the store for a guaranteed tank. I noticed that they put some of these here on sale. So normally 3 days is 500 gold. You can get 3 for 250, 14 for 1,000, which I don't know where that. I thought that was normally there. 7 days it's 1,000 normally. So a few little deals there. And just remember, guys, to check your containers here on a daily basis. This one you get 3 per day. This one you get every 3 or 4 days. And this one is once every week. But since I haven't been here since April, yeah, they were all ready to be open. So more of these German invasion containers, and I just hate this layout of this store. It is just all over the place. But that's it. That's the store review this week. I am sorry that there's not better tanks in here. Hopefully they're gearing up for October, and then of course the Christmas events where we do see a lot of tanks for sale. So save up your gold, guys, and get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.